Champions of Europe, you'll never sing that. That's what the boys in the England dressing room will be chanting over to their Dutch counterparts as England finally did it. They finally did it. They've racked up another win in the World Cup. They demolished Bangladesh and they've demolished the Netherlands, two powerhouses of this World Cup. Pezza, it was a remarkable performance and one we should celebrate as them being now champions of Europe.
Yeah, European conference stuff.
Yeah.
A dark, dark day for Netherlands cricket.
Yes.
Today.
Yeah.
That's an angle I haven't seen.
They'll be wearing black armbands next time they play.
The Netherlands went into this game with an anorexically slenderous chance of making the semi-finals. That's true.
Yep.
Did you know that?
Yes.
They needed everyone above them to lose and to defeat England and India somewhere in the region of 400 runs. So, you know, you're telling me there's a chance.
It was like having a threesome with two anorexics. Two birds, one stone. The Great Cricket is brought to you by cricket.com. For now, you can download the cricket.com app from the App Store, and you can also subscribe to their YouTube channel, cricket.com/TV. Pezza, first of the three things today, and it is a big day because we are going to celebrate Ben Stokes' first ever World Cup 100. He hit 108 of 84. He hit 6 sixes and also 6 fours before he was dismissed by Logan Van Beek. Not to be confused with the lead actor in Dawson's Creek. But you know what? In the context of the game, he and Wokes put a respectable tally on the board for England. And it wasn't just a score, it was a tally. 339 for 9 after their 50 overs. But they were 6 for 190 at one point. But Stokes, again, if there's going to be a guy who's going to dig you out of trouble, Stokes is in the conversation of diggers that I'd like... Also factor in how unimportant this game is.
Oh, is that clear? I'm not sure we've been making that clear enough. Not Maxi though, is it?
No, it's not. It's not.
There was something underwhelming about it all. Like Stokes did his thing, which to my mind is always just one of the great things to watch.
Yeah.
He basically held the innings together,
right,
and then went about hitting everybody out of the ground, and he brings up his first World Cup 100, and yet it's like he's done it on two legs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I saw him running at one point.
Unfair advantage. Yeah, I mean, I'm finding it difficult to draw much meaning out of this. I noted that Joss Butler said, "We're not playing for what we wanted to be playing for, but a really vital match for us in the grand scheme of things." You know, I mean, that's when they write that next book, you know what I mean, and they get that next word in the dictionary, you know, things turned around with the inclusion of Gus Atkinson and Harry Brook in the side, and Ben Stokes hitting, you know, Logan Van Beek around.
Yeah.
And they got into the European Conference final. That was when the turnaround began. A vital match.
England weren't far away from playing against Romania in the European Cricket League. Yeah. That's sort of how things are going.
Do you know the Dutch do play in the European Cricket League? Genuinely. Yeah. Dutch Bukowski, genuinely. Okay. Scott Edwards. So we've seen them there. Yeah. So those guys beat South Africa. Guys from the European Cricket League. I would love to see England in the European Cricket League. Yeah, 100%. Now we're talking, actually.
Well, to be fair,
opportunity missed.
When Joe Root was bowled between his legs, that did remind me a little bit of the...
That's right. He was getting ready. Yeah, that's right.
That did remind me of the
two Aussie commentators are just laughing. Megs. Yes. Cricket's done it again. Yeah. Oh my God!
I mean, that actually was a highlight of the innings.
Total
Joe Root never misses that shot. We've seen it. Obviously, we saw him play it in the Ashes, but many times before then, he's been doing it for quite a few years. Never misses it.
Not everybody can clear the fence with stiff legs. You know what I mean? Like that. Like I'm starting to, you know, think about that Vince McMahon meme. You know, where he's crying, remembering when blokes used to use their feet batting. I remember those days.
Stokes is in that category. He reminds me of Dhoni was the first guy in Muggy Maya watching live. Just now invoke Dhoni. Watch the views go up. Stonks, as they used to say. I never really know what that means.
You're just saying that to just an older person. Dhoni, stonks. I just talk in internet search terms now.
Where like when you just need a 6 to be hit, it just happens.
Yeah.
And like when obviously what Maxwell did
Up until
last
2019.
when his eyes began to be painted on.
That's right. Well, we were waiting for it again. I'm still waiting for that 6 against New Zealand. I'm still waiting for that charge.
But Stokes is in the same mould, and obviously what Maxwell did last night, where he gets in that rich form, and it's like he can just hit any ball for 6.
Yeah.
But
Everything must go.
But when Stokes has that, he has that capacity as well. Like what Donny had to when Donny had it, was like I can just hit a 6 now, any ball. And Stokes 6-6s last night. It was a little bit in that mould as well. It goes to 100 with like a reverse. What do you even call that? Like a reverse paddle lap sweep to go to. I mean, fuck that's high skill. But yeah, I mean, to be fair to the Netherlands, they were right in the game when they had England 6 for 190. Then Wokes came in and made 51 off 45, 5-4s and a 6 as well. So that was actually pivotal for them to get to 339. So we get into the second thing, which is MOEEN Ali's first World Cup wickets, which is just an unnecessary drive-by on just a lovely, lovely man. A man so lovely that his performances can never be questioned.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He now must suffer accountability at the hands of 2 internet dickheads. MOEEN Ali's not had a good World Cup. I'm pretty sure he said it himself. He's like, yeah, we're too old and we've been shit.
Yeah. He finished with 3 for 42. Adil Rashid also took 3 for 54.
Yeah, Spinner's done him.
There. Nothing really much to report, to be fair, for the Netherlands. Scott Edwards made 38. He was a top scorer. No, actually...
Engelbrecht, some runs?
Engelbrecht's got 33 as well, yeah. Nida Manaru.
Yes.
Have I said that right? I think I fucked it up. I mean, to be fair, I called Peter Parker Peter Pan yesterday, so, you know,
a lot of people on the internet are very happy and enthused to learn that Peter Pan turned into Spider-Man. Now that is some porn fanfic.
It's a crossover we didn't know we needed.
That's right. Peter Pan got bitten by a spider. All of a sudden, he's fucking Spider-Man.
I also said that Bruce Wayne was scared of some bats. So, you know, I'm not sure how.
There was a lot going on yesterday.
There was a lot going on yesterday.
Scott Edwards, you can't tell me in Australia there's 6 state keepers that would have performed better than him in this World Cup.
He's
he
had
can't
a good
get a
World
gig
Cup.
here. You know? Anyway,
Yeah.
I hope that changes for him. I hope he can ascend the mountain from World Cup wicketkeeper to domestic state cricketer in Australia, as we believe the pyramid actually works. So I think it's got to be like, I'm good, guys. I can play in the European Cricket League, and I can go and boss South Africa around when I need to.
I mean, they must be playing in the World Cup in the US and the West Indies next year, surely, if 20 teams are in it.
I don't know. Why would I know that? I'm from Australia, mate. I don't know anything that happens other than our waking hours, and that has to do with us.
All I know is he plays for Richmond.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Or did.
That's right. I know in his last game against Kingston Hawthorn, they won by an innings and he missed out.
All I know is that the Netherlands team song is a Richmond Tigers football team song. It's the same song.
Yeah. And Scotty Edwards is a red.
He's a red, is he?
Yeah.
Well,
he wore Liverpool.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Well, it means more. And also, he'll never walk alone.
He'll never walk alone. Yinhua.
That's classy.
Liverpool. That's classy from a Man United fan.
Exactly. That's how you need to talk.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fairly good discussion
Stokes.
of Netherlands innings.
Dutch Bukowski missed out.
Yeah.
I still like it.
Friend of the show. Yeah, me too.
I like
Familiar.
It. Play on for me.
Honey Badger, that kind of stuff. I mean, the thing about this, well, the reason I highlighted MOEEN Ali's first wickets of the World Cup, somewhat ironically, is that I hadn't realised it had gone that badly for England, that MOEEN Ali had not taken a single wicket in the tournament, him being their second spinner in the tournament, of course, behind Adil Rashid. I'm not sure of Adil Rashid's numbers this World Cup, but I don't think he hasn't set the world alight, nor has any player.
Okay. But second spinners have been important this World Cup. Glenn Phillips has been great for New Zealand. Maxwell's been good for Australia. And even Travis Head fitting in. Obviously, South Africa have Maharaj and Shamsi, who neither of which is a second spinner, but 2 spinners going well. India, I think they got a couple of good spinners. I can't quite remember their performances. So, just another example of where the wheels have really fallen off for England and they've been unders. But if you do listen to the English press and former English players, etc., their whole underperformance, the most disastrous and ghastly defence of a World Cup across any sport ever has just been a random confluence and coincidence of just a couple of little things being slightly off. Nothing bigger, and all scapegoat efforts go towards the Australian who's coaching them, and everything's fine.
Yeah, that's right. Didn't he win the World Cup in Australia last year?
I think he won. I think almost less than a year ago, he won a World Cup as coach of the team.
Oh, okay.
But
that's interesting.
But yeah, I think it looks as though it's going to be his fault.
Good. Well, to that end, should we check in with the table and discuss England's Champions Trophy qualification status? So then they move up to 7th with 4 points. They're in front of Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and the Netherlands. The Netherlands' last game is against India, so it looks as though that the Netherlands will unfortunately finish last in the tournament, which I suppose someone has to finish last. But they have actually had a really good tournament. Obviously, they beat South Africa. They also beat who was their other win against?
Bangladesh.
Was it against Bangladesh? Was it? Yeah, okay. Bangladesh just eternally just let me down. It's like how long they've been in international cricket, and they are continually shit house.
Last game, but
their last game is against Australia, Bangladesh. So Sri Lanka's last game is against New Zealand. Both teams have plenty to play for, because if Sri Lanka win that game, they are back into the Champions Trophy qualification. I wonder if actually, we sort of joke about it, but I wonder if that actually is important for Sri Lankan cricket, given that they don't really play any Test cricket anymore. But
when is it in 2025?
Yeah,
there's at least 50% chance that tournament doesn't happen.
Yes, that's true. I mean, especially given it's in Pakistan, and the current ODI champions are unlikely to travel there, I would suspect.
Wow.
Yeah, indeed. So England's last game is against Pakistan. Pakistan obviously need to win by a lot, depending on what happens against the New Zealand's Sri Lanka game. But if England do win that game, they'll finish on 6 points, and they'll still be they can't finish any higher than 7th where they are right now. But I'd actually be disappointed if they finish this with 3 wins and 6 losses. I think it's more deserving that they finish on maximum 2 wins, 7 losses.
You want to see 2 and 7. You want to see that big 7 number. When you look back at, like, you type in CWC ladder 2023 when you're at the age of, say, 46, and things are happening in your life that lead you to a point where you're looking up the ladder that you've forgotten.
Yes, and it'll be a Thursday, and I need a new Instagram post for a Throwback Thursday.
Exactly.
Which was a trend that happened 15 years ago.
He's just sitting in the doctor's office, waiting
for my prostate exam results.
For your prostate exam. Just sitting there. Got the new idea, which is on an iPad now, in front of you. Throwback Thursday. And you just want to see England. You're like, oh, God, I know they had a bad World Cup. What was it? 2 and 7. Oh, yeah, that's the stuff. Again, Vince McMahon. Just
at the same time, the doctor's got 2 fingers inside me.
Yeah, that's right. You're doing Throwback Thursday.
Want to make it 3.
That's right. Keep going.
Same amount of fingers as wins in the World Cup.
Yeah, anyway, so they've got Pakistan. Hell of a tournament, England. There was a point in this game where, like towards the end of this dreary fixture, played in Pune, fair play to Pune, just grey overheads. There's some crap on the wicket. A good turnout from the fans, by the way, but decent. And there's a point where Adil Rashid gets Logan Van Beek, and Pommy and Bang was commentating. He doesn't even stop his story as the wicket goes on, and like I completely agree because I was into the story. Like it was the wicket was a distraction.
A footnote.
Yeah, that's right. To Pommy waxing lyrical, the raconteur he is, and he completely summed up the tone of the fixture.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to say what's going on here. Yes, he's out. So anyway, I just want to shout out. Brief, serious point. The complete irrelevance of this game. I think paradoxically demonstrates that the last 2 weeks of the World Cup have actually been quite interesting.
Yep, that's
true.
A
lot of games with a lot of jeopardy, a lot of great performances, and a lot of recriminations for teams that have fucked it up.
Yep.
Just a little shout out. It's much more fashionable to criticise this World Cup from enclaves away from India.
Yep.
But got to call it out. It's been quite good, and I think there's some concern about whether there'd be dead rubbers and stuff like that in such a long tournament. But they're pretty much managing to get to the end without that. Admittedly, I think the Champions Trophy is carrying a heavy load over there, but yeah, like World Cup's been good. This is the first time I think we've really sat down, if we're being real, and being like,
what the fuck's
this game?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. I mean, like about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, there was going to be like dead rubbers everywhere, just like the floor of a brothel. Dead rubbers everywhere.
This is nice. I can do the Modern Family thing where you just look at the camera. There's something said. I was watching the World Cup and a couple of weeks ago I was looking like the floor of a brothel, dead rubbers everywhere. I just want to see what it felt like to say.
Thoughts?
I'm embarrassed.
Thanks. Hashtag AskTGC. I actually haven't got it in front of me because I lost it, but have you got that in front of you? Because it's on a different device now.
I will shortly. Sorry. Let me just bring it up here.
I can find it. I can find it in an expedient manner if that helps you.
I got it. Now, hashtag AskTGC from Rahul Bose 1. Sometimes sport becomes transcendental.
Yep.
This was one such game. Maxwell looked under divine possession. Everyone else watching and playing was in a trance.
Do you feel like, because I included this just to highlight the light and shade, and getting your hashtag AskTGC, by the way, into the comments below, we'll answer it for the next game, which is it's not till the weekend actually. I think we're doing 2 games on Sunday.
Yeah, that's right.
We're doing New Zealand and Pakistan, and we're also doing Australia and Bangladesh.
The big doubleheader.
The big doubleheader, they're calling it. So the light and shade of this tournament, having the highest of highs last night, also the controversy with the timed out the day before that, and then you get into this game, and it's almost like, the way the World Cup's been going, it felt like the Dutch victory was actually going to continue on this streak of like really fascinating cricket, more lows for like such a champion side of England, but instead it was just like, nah, England do have good players. Like Ben Stokes scores 100, wickets for Adil Rashid, MOEEN Ali's back in the game, David Milan scores more runs. Wokes contributes.
Another mistake.
So this actually feels like the flattest the World Cup has been, which is odd. It's actually good that it's made it to the game 40 or 45. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I guess it's been pretty good so far.
Yeah. Sorry, what was the relationship between that and this comment about Glenn Maxwell?
Well, I was just thinking about Glenn Maxwell's last night because he was saying it's transcendental, right?
Oh, right.
And then you look at this game, like what happened last night with that game was just like, fuck it. Like people were saying, I've never seen anything like this before. And then this game was like, no, this is what ODI cricket usually is.
Well, I'd seen something like it before. When you think about the win predictor, Australia, like Glenn Maxwell with Australia was at like 6%, but also there was a game between India and Pakistan the year before where Kohli was batting, and that was at 15%. So Maxwell and Kohli.
Yeah.
With the thing Glenn Maxwell did that Sachin Tendulkar's literally said the greatest ODI innings ever.
Yeah.
But also it sort of reminds you of Kohli.
Yeah, that's true.
When Maxwell scores 201 not out.
It is funny
to win
when
a game at 7 for 91. But that's how it's like Kohli.
But it's interesting, isn't it? Because every time when I'm watching a game of cricket that doesn't involve India, I'm always thinking this actually reminds me of India.
Yeah.
Well,
because Maxwell's wife, Vinny, is Indian.
So,
So there's something to think about as well.
Sort of 6 degree separation stuff.
Yeah. Okay, well, I suppose this should be a new segment of the show. How did this game remind you of India?
That's a good segment.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a good segment.
Stokes, what's the degree of separation from India? Stokes, 108. Yeah. Indian guy score 100. That reminds me of when Rohit.
Well, he batted 4. Who bats 4 for India? Shreyas Iyer.
Shreyas Iyer.
So India also has a 4.
Yeah.